What's up, everybody? Welcome to another video. Welcome to the channel. Now, since the debacle of the slap that was heard around the world, I've been trying to look for A-listers that would actually come out and voice their opinion regarding this, but a lot of A-listers have been really quiet. We've heard other people from other sources or other media actually voice their opinion, and it seems like people are split. Some people are really simping for Will Smith one way or another. I've seen women from The Real Talk or something like that simp for Will Smith, give some of the most ridiculous take about the whole situation, saying that Will Smith defended his wife, and that this is something that, you know, when you see a black man defending his wife, like as if black people don't generally defend their wife, you're making an assumption about black people. It's amazing how they do this on live TV. And I've seen a lot of people do the same thing. Tiffany Haddish said, we haven't seen enough of this, black men defending their women, you know, and a lot of black women jumped on this. And even people that I know in my personal life, people that have been giving opinions on Facebook and whatnot, women most especially have been defending it, talking about, oh, alopecia, like as if alopecia is some kind of a deadly disease, or you don't know what Jada Pinkett is going through. Of course, we know what Jada Pinkett has been going through. But anyways, you guys, a lot of people have been saying left, right, and center, but what I have been particularly waiting for was A-listers giving their opinion. Now, if you see any A-lister whatsoever give their opinion at all, it's been very, very tepid and tame. They have been very, very diplomatic about their opinions. So they would slightly kind of say they were surprised at what Will Smith did, but at the same time, they will tell you that they understand why Will Smith did what he did over a G.I. Jane joke, But anyways, there is one real one out there. At least Jim Carrey is somebody that I really don't support his politics. But one thing I do know about Jim Carrey is that from day one, he speaks his mind, whether he's been mocked by Hollywood, whether he was blackballed at one time by Hollywood, he doesn't mind. He speaks his mind. And we don't agree about the same politics, and he's a little bit woke as well. But at the same time, he's real, and he's real and true to himself. And I feel like his interview with Gayle King is something that is worthy of talking about, because this guy has said something that majority of the A-listers in Hollywood who are feckless, who really can't come out there and speak their mind, he has said what they have been unable to say. So let's get into this interview. It's not too long. Hopefully I can do a quick reaction over it, and then I'll give you my thoughts and you know, as to what I feel is going to happen to Will Smith, or the reason why Will Smith was able to do what he did, and the Academy Award was quite confused as to what actions to take at that point in time. And I still believe that they're confused as to what action they will take, but we'll get into all of that. But first, before we get into this interview, really want to urge you guys, if you're yet to do so, to smash that like icon down below. And if you are yet to do so, please do consider subscribing to the channel as well. Now, without further ado, let's listen to Jim Carrey now, shall we?
What did you think as you watched it unfold, and then what happened after?
I was sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation.
So was I.
I felt like Hollywood is just spineless.
Absolutely.
En masse.
Facts. Facts.
And it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
Yeah, I think you guys haven't been the cool club for the longest of time. Since 2016, 2017, you guys went woke. And that shows from the rating of, you know, every Oscar award since 2017 has been plummeting. And I mean, as of 2017, the reason why I'm mentioning this was one of the highest, you know, viewership they got of over 50 million viewers. Right now, they're struggling with 16 million viewers, which is only better than last year, that they could barely scratch 10 million viewers for the Oscars. That's how bad Oscar has been, because everything woke turns to ish. Y'all know that.
There was some question today about if anyone else had walked from the audience and done that, they would have been escorted out by security, or
not if anyone else had gone out there and done that. I'll be very specific. If it was a white person that went out and did that, they would have been escorted out. But because Will Smith is a black person, for real, this is real talk. This is the reason why I think they are very confused as to what to have been done. And it's not just because of that. He's a elite. And when it comes to elite like these people, well, I got to tell you, they don't abide by the same rules and the same laws as every other person now, do they?
Or maybe even arrested. The police asked Chris if he wanted to file charges. They asked Chris, do you want to file charges? And Chris apparently said no, he did not.
He doesn't want the hassle. I'd announced this morning that I was suing Will for $200 million.
Real talk. Real talk. I'd have done the same thing, although I don't know. He could have been facetious when he was saying this, but yep, I'd have done the same thing. Trust me on that one. But there's a reason, once again, that, you know, I believe that when it comes to Chris, he probably was told not to do it, maybe by the academy themselves or whatnot. I really don't know at this point in time, but I think that maybe he was advised not to do it.
Because that video is going to be there forever. It's going to be ubiquitous.
Von Smallhausen to our dictionaries. Ubiquitous. Yeah. It's always going to be out there, and it's going to be out there, and a lot of people are going to make fun of this. I mean, I even actually saw a news headline of Jake Paul putting out $40 million, right, for a boxing match between these two, between Chris Rock and what you call his name, Will Smith. Isn't this embarrassing? This is embarrassing for a kid like that, a stupid kid like that, putting out $40 million to see a fight. It's insulting to these two men. And whose fault is that? Will Smith. Will Smith. Nobody else. Will Smith. He made that bed. He's going to lie in it.
You know, that insult is going to last a very long time. If you want to yell from the audience and disapprove or show a disapproval or say something on Twitter or whatever, you know, you do not have the right to walk up on stage and smack somebody in the face because they said words.
Absolutely. And how bad was the word? They compared a beautiful woman in her 50s or 50-year-old woman to a beautiful woman in her early 30s. What was the bad thing in that joke? What was it? I really want to know, especially from black women who have been saying it was so bad. They're making Chris Rock look like some kind of a bad guy. He made a comparison between two beautiful women. Nothing bad about it. There have been worse comparisons about Will Smith. There have been worse takedowns of Will Smith that they said absolutely nothing about. But this little joke, this little thing that he did here, this little G.I. Jane joke, and even him was surprised. It was like, it was a G.I. Jane joke, bro. And then he gets that kind of reaction. So you can talk about the infidelities of my wife, and yeah, that's allowed. But don't talk about, you know, comparing her to another beautiful woman. Nah, that's not allowed at all. Don't even keep my missus's name out your freaking mouth. Nah, that's crazy, man. And freaking wasn't the word that he used. I just like to use that because I like to keep it family friendly on this channel.
You didn't smack somebody in the face because they said words.
No, I agree. I think we all agree on that. I just thought, Jim, that it escalated to that, you know?
What? Even she's trying to defend Will Smith, saying that it's escalated. This is very uncharacteristic of this woman who always goes out to criticize black men. She goes out of her way. Remember that interview with Lisa Leslie, the WNBA basketballer, when she kept on bringing up Kobe Bryant in a negative light, and the other woman, Lisa Leslie, kept on saying, look, Kobe isn't like all these other guys that I go out with that, you know, are kind of like, bad when it comes to women. Kobe isn't like that. And she kept on pressing and pressing, you know, and she was one of the first people that brought the R. Kelly story, the Bill Cosby story. And she's always, this is very, very uncharacteristic of her defending black men. Although I'm not going to criticize her too much regarding that, because I think she wants to keep black men in check or something like that. So I can understand that part. But yeah, no, a lot of people were happy when she did that to Kobe Bryant. Now, were they?
You know what I mean? That it escalated to that level.
It didn't escalate. It came out of nowhere because Will has something going on inside him that's frustrated, and I wish him the best. I really do. I don't, you know.
He's absolutely right. Facts. Will had other things being built up. And this is the problem that I find with this. A lot of people are saying that Will Smith went out there to defend his wife. No, absolutely not. Let me tell you what Will Smith went out there to do. He went out there to defend his manhood. He went out there to do something selfish. This is why I really don't blame Jada, even though she has some fault in this. I really don't blame her, because Will Smith is the person that said, hey, I've told Jada She has to find a way to make herself happy, and I'm going to find a way to make myself happy. Why are the two of you in a marriage if you can't make yourself happy? You want to do something ungodly in something that is a unity that is supposed to be signed by God. You want to do something ungodly, it's not going to work. You don't follow the principles of marriage, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a burden. And you have been carrying that burden for the longest of times, and it just came out. It just like it was the straw that broke the camel's back. That's what happened with Chris, and you just couldn't stand it anymore. A lot of people had their go at you. You didn't say nothing, and then just this little thing is what broke the camel's back. So there's a deeper issues to that. And even if you listen to Will Smith's closing or whatever, his speech for his award, you would have actually seen that Will Smith is an emotional wreck. He's somebody that is going through a lot, and he actually spoke about it, you know, and it was quite obvious that he's going through something. And this guy's absolutely right. Absolutely right.
I don't have anything against Will Smith. He's done great things. But that was not a good moment. It cast a pall over everybody's shining moment last night. You know, a lot of people worked really hard to get to that place and to have their moment in the sun and to get their award for the really hard work they did. And it is no mean feat to go through all the stuff you have to go through when you're nominated for an Oscar. It's a gauntlet.
Yeah, imagine the person that won the award that came shortly after. They were given an award for the best documentary. And imagine that person gets home and says, hey, honey, I'm home. And honey, I don't know if it's a man or a woman, but let's just assume it's a woman here. Hey, honey, I'm home. I just won an Oscar award for that documentary. And the wife is going to be like, yeah. Did you see that slap that Will Smith slapped The Rock? Was like, kapow! Tell me all about it. Were you there? Where were you seated? Could you see everything? Did you see it really clearly? Or were you looking at a monitor? What? But I just won an award. But yeah, I know. But did you see? Nobody's talking about that. Nobody's talking about anybody that won any award. Nobody even cares anymore. Everybody has been talking about it. It's been 3 days, and everybody has been talking about Will Smith landing a slap on Rock. So people that worked hard all their life to get to that point, because it takes a lot of effort to get to that point, it's all gone. It's all been taken away thanks to Will Smith. Thanks to Will Smith.
Of devotion that you have to do. And you know, it was just a selfish moment that cast a pall over the whole thing.
All right, so I'm going to leave it there. Now, when it comes to Will Smith and all that, a lot of people are saying Will Smith is in big trouble because of the statements that the Academy Award has released. I personally think that the Academy Award is really quite confused right now regarding what they want to do about Will Smith. Why? Because they have made a certain bed. They have spawned a certain web. And the web that they spawned is that white man bad, black man good. Very emblematic of what woke people and SJWs do outside of Hollywood. They want to keep on projecting this good image for black people, even when black people are doing bad. And when you call them out, they try to find one form to demonize you. But a black on black crime happened right there on stage that they had to cover. They had no choice other than to cover it. And now they cannot cover it up. That's why they're confused as to what to do, given 18 days of deliberations before they can decide whether Will Smith should be, you know, stripped of his award or not, or whether they should press charges, because they've been living in a bubble. And this is the last thing that they expected. What Will Smith did, he also felt like he's been living in that protective bubble because rules for thee doesn't apply to them. The rules that applies to everybody else doesn't apply to them. The state should be suing Will, or should be charging Will at the moment, but the state is doing nothing. We've seen the same thing happen with Alec Baldwin and the likes of them. It's what happens with elite. This is why I kept on mentioning on this channel that, hey, most of you that are saying white privilege thing, what are you going to call this? It's black privilege, right? Black privilege, because the only reason why things are happening to Will Smith right now is because he's black. And it's also because he's an elite. And in my own personal opinion, the privilege has been reserved for the elite and for nobody else. And for those of you who are making that big mistake that there's such a thing as white privilege, here's clear proof that there's no white privilege. There's just an elite privilege. And then the rest of us, you know, have to abide by the rules. But anyway, there's a whole lot more that I would say. But I got to tell you guys, it's going to be very, very difficult for Hollywood to actually take this award away from Will Smith or conduct any actions, because they are scared, just like many other feckless A-listers are scared of being branded the R-word, that they have so much tried to virtual signal people that they are above. So, you make your bed, Hollywood, now you gotta lie in it. Anyways, you guys, let me know what you think about this. Any aspect, do you think Will Smith was right? Do you think Will Smith was wrong? Do you think that Will Smith will be stripped of his Oscars? Let me also know what you think about some of the comments that, Jim Carrey made, that it would, if it was him, he would sue for $200 million. Do you think that is the right thing to do? Or you reckon Chris Rock did the right thing by just keeping it quiet, maybe doesn't want the noise or whatnot? Wherever you stand, comment in the comment section below. I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please feel free to like, share, comment, subscribe, ding that bell for notification, and I'll be seeing you guys on the next one. Take care, peace, and SARS out of here. Bye-bye now.